because in my family, the ladies always had low milk supply, including my mother. Love that baby more than the mother. The mother loves the child and wants what's best. So at that moment, know that what she's doing is best for that child. Yes, so we have to be supportive to mothers. So some mothers have these underlying issues, and it is just safe for them not to breastfeed. If they breastfeed, they will be killing themselves. You want to stay alive to make sure you take care of this child.
Hi guys, hope you're doing well, hope you're thriving. My name is Doreen. If you're new here, you are very welcome to the channel. This is another episode of
Tales of Motherhood.
Yay! Yeah, so this year we are dedicated to encouraging mothers out there, and I know that all the episodes that have been coming out have helped a mother out there, because we've been seeing the feedback and we love it. Thank you so much for keeping us engaged in the comment section. We learn a lot from the comment section. That's where the gist is.
Yes.
Yeah, so today we are going to talk about breastfeeding and bottle feeding. And with me is Carol, a dear friend of mine who has been here severally. She's going to introduce herself again. If this is your first time to watch if this is your first video on this channel, she's going to introduce herself and then we get into it.
Yes, you're very welcome, ladies, to this channel again of in this season where we're discussing tales of motherhood.
Yes.
I am Caroline Mulyamboga, a mother of two beautiful daughters.
Yes, so for context, first thank you so much, Carol, for always coming to the show.
You're welcome.
Very soon we should do a motherhood show where, like different mothers, we just keep coming and talk through things, because we are going through it as mothers. Yeah, so for context, why we are going to talk about the experiences of breastfeeding and bottle feeding. Personally, I've breastfed my two babies, and I'm still breastfeeding the other one. And Carol bottle fed one and is breastfeeding another one.
Yes.
So she's going to share her experience just to encourage someone out there, probably who thought that they were going to breastfeed and they ended up bottle feeding, or the other way around. Yeah, so when you're pregnant with the first one, because she's the one you bottle fed, were you like, when I give birth, I'm going to bottle feed or I'm going to breastfeed? Like, what were your thoughts around that during your pregnancy?
So when I was pregnant for my first baby, I was ready for both.
Oh, you had prepared for both.
Yes, I had prepared for both. Why? Because in my family, the ladies always had low milk supply, including my mother.
Really?
Yes, so even my sisters, my nieces, I've seen them being, my nieces and nephews, I've seen them being bottle fed even after 1 week.
Wow.
Yeah, one of my sisters, after 1-2 weeks, she didn't have milk supply and she had to give formula. So I was ready for both. For any, if I had milk, I was ready to breastfeed. If it was not there, I would be very ready to bottle feed. Yes, so that was what happened. Yes.
That is a shock.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It can even be genetic.
Yes.
Like, there are some people who don't breastfeed because they don't want.
Yes.
But some people actually want to breastfeed, but
it's
they can't.
not there.
It's not possible.
Yes.
I always tell people that I thank God that I have enough breast milk.
Yes.
The other day someone was asking me that, why are you taking black tea? Won't it affect your breast milk? I told them I take black tea to reduce the breast milk. You get?
Have some of us.
And some people have to take porridge. What?
Sure.
But one thing I've learned on this journey of motherhood is whatever works for you, do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Yeah.
So now with that background, now I don't even know how to ask. How did it come about that you bottle fed the other one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for how it goes for me to start to bottle feed my first child was, the first thing is that latching. The latching just refused.
God.
So certain people have already milk before even they give birth, and then when the baby's out, milk is flowing. For me, the baby has to, suckle, I think, for like the first 24 hours for that yellow milk to start coming. The baby just couldn't latch. It was a painful experience. The nipple was like falling apart. I could pluck out pieces of the nipple. Day one, struggling, and nurses could come and help. And mother-in-law is helping, mother is helping, sisters are, everyone is helping. The child couldn't latch. Night, the next day, night, the next day, and the child has not fed anything, has not taken anything. Yeah, so that is how now we reached a point, and the child was getting dehydrated. She was getting jaundice. She was hungry, and now when the doctors came and they noticed the child was not doing well, now the child was going to end up in the NICU. Now imagine a NICU of a private hospital in Kampala. That's the point where we're like, instead of the child dying of hunger, let's give the formula. So that's how we started the formula journey, and immediately we gave her the formula. She just suckled it all clean, completely. And from there, that's how the formula journey started. So I was now doing both, but my milk supply was little, and the child preferred formula. Yes. When I would give the breast, she just was not very interested in it. I think she had suffered enough with the whole breast. She was like, this thing.
She was traumatized.
Yes.
She was like, this one is readily available. I just pull out and it comes. This one I have to work.
Yes, I have to work. I'm trying to get the milk. It's not working. So that's how the whole formula journey started, and we continued from there.
Add to that the fact that it was C-section mom.
Yes.
I always hear stories that, when you're going through the birthing experience of pushing out the baby, the hormones and they are already activating everything that is supposed to be used for taking care of the baby, the breast milk, what. But now for us, they just cut out the baby. Yes. So we work extra hard for the mammary glands, mammary glands. Yes. To get activated to be able to produce that
milk.
Yeah. But we thank God that even there was the little breast milk that was coming.
Yeah.
So ladies, there you can see that sometimes you want to breastfeed your baby, but things just jam. The milk just refuses to come. The baby just fails to latch. And instead of having a hungry baby, you just better feed them with formula. Yeah. So what are some of the do's, like during that journey of bottle feeding? What are some of the do's and the don'ts of bottle feeding? So a mother out there now has decided that, okay, breastfeeding byayanga, let me now feed my baby on milk or formula.
So some of the do's is to find out from maybe nutritionists and medical personnel which formula could be best for your child, which formula you could use best, which could try to give as much nutrients to your baby as possible. So find out, ask what formula you could use. The other thing is, when it comes to, when you now know what formula you're using, following instructions. I know for us Africans, we don't want to read.
We want to eyeball the measurements.
Yes. You want to be an African mother. You have to read instructions, read the instructions in the container, and know how exactly to use the formula. So you'll be able to get instructions on how to measure the formula. That's another do. Make sure you measure to avoid over concentration or under concentration. Yes. Sometimes, for example, if they tell you 30 mils, you require, say, 1 scoop, and the scoop has to be leveled, for example. Then for you put, and then you look at it, then with your eyes, for you think, but why don't I add some more? Well, let me put some nyongeza. It is not cooking where you can add some onions and what. Yes. Do what you're supposed to do. If it is 1 scoop, let it be 1 scoop. Do not add. Do not underdo, because it will affect the child. So the measuring has to be precise. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the other do is making sure the equipment the bottles and the nipples of the baby are sterilized, are clean and sterilized. It would be best if you could do this even yourself. There will be no getting tired in this. Even if you're tired, do these things, sterilize the bottles and make sure they are clean to avoid the child from getting infections. Then the other thing is, now for bottle milk, it's not like the natural milk, the breast milk, where the temperature is safe for the child. The bottle milk, you're using, for example, warm water to mix the milk. Now, making sure the milk is in the right temperature for the child, comfortable temperature. You have to be able to test it. Yeah, I think the best way could be like testing it. You pour it on your skin so that you can feel. Yeah, so don't just mix and then hold with your hand and use. Sometimes our palms are resistant. Yeah, so you have to be able to make sure that the temperature is right for the child to take. Then the other thing is, like I said, after you have not discovered or found what formula to use for your child, even when you get it, you're not very sure it may work for your child. There are formulas that I've used which my child reacts to. For example, there is a formula that I used and the child got constipation. Yes. So when you give the child the formula, be keen to see if there are any reactions, if there are any allergies. Yes, and then you can see and be able to adjust or change. Yeah, so you have to be able to be looking and changing. And certain times, children who take formula, they are more prone to allergies or lactose intolerance. Yes, so we have to be able to look out for those things, for any allergies, any reactions. Yes, say for example the child gets constipation or anything. Yeah, so those are some of the do's.
And as you are sharing the do's, one of testing whether a particular formula works for your child, I think this calls to buying small tins. I've seen some formulas have the big tin and the small one. So you buy the small one, you first test, because formula is also expensive. You first test and see if it works for your child, then you buy the bigger one. If it doesn't work, you change another small tin of another brand, and then you see what works for you. I also like the part of where you encourage the mothers to be the ones to wash
the containers, the equipment.
Because when your child gets sick, you're the one who is going to go to hospital with the child. So to avoid all that, be the one to wash those things. And if you're not able to, at least train someone who you're confident that they are going to do the right thing when they're washing those containers, the nipples, the bottles, because it can really get bad.
So I think we're talking about the do's. Now, some of the things you need to do is, for example, the sensitivity that comes with formula. You see, breast milk is ever fresh, ever available. Now for formula, you may mix and then the child drinks and then there is some leftover. Yes, especially in the early weeks and months of the child, do not reuse leftover. Let it go, pour out. It always has to be fresh.
Oh my God.
Yes, it has to be fresh to avoid any infections. Yes, I know you may be thinking of economizing and all, but don't. And then also avoid using expired formula. In the instructions of those containers, they usually tell us that once you open the container, you can use it in a particular time. Maybe you can use it within a month. So if you use the formula and then past a month you still have half, then
I don't want to waste
I don't want to waste it. Please don't. Please don't, to make sure the child is safe. So these are some of the sensitivities that are involved in using formula milk. But all of it is for the good of the child.
For the good of the child, and also not to take you away now from your normal programming, because when the child falls sick, trust me, even you're not okay. So all these things, when the child is okay, you are also okay, and your life continues normally.
And the other thing that parents may be tempted to do is, say for example, when the milk is not at the temperature that you want, and then you want to warm it and then you put it in a microwave. We need to try to avoid using a microwave to warm baby milk. Yeah, I think one of the easy ways to do is maybe put warm water in a container and then drop the bottle until it's at a temperature that you would like. Yes.
What about some mothers who pour in water so that, like the milk is hot, you add some cold water?
No. You are diluting the milk.
Yeah.
Do not dilute, like we say, do not dilute or have it over concentrated.
Yeah.
Because when you dilute, the child will not be obtaining nutrients that they require. Yes.
Personally, I'm being schooled. Like, I did not know that formula has all these instructions and all these. Oh my God. It is really not the easy way out like people think.
No, it's
actually
not.
Breastfeeding is the easy way out.
Very easy, yeah.
I just have to make sure my nipple is clean, and that is even like in the first week. That is when I actively clean. The rest, I just put in the mouth. Things we take for granted.
Yeah.
Things we take for granted.
Yeah, so after mentioning my story about how I struggled with the baby latching and low milk supply, so one of the things that I forgot to mention is some of the factors that could lead to mothers bottle feeding or formula feeding instead of breastfeeding. So one of them, like I mentioned, is latching. The child may just fail to latch, and this thing, because it was the first child, I thought every child is like that. Guys, my second child, she came out and she just grabbed the breast and she was suckling and she was okay.
Yeah.
Her latching instinct was on point, and the first one just couldn't. She just couldn't. So these things happen.
Yeah.
So when we see a mother giving formula, please don't judge. You just don't know what has been happening. Yeah. Then the other thing could be low milk supply. Like I had said, in my family we have experienced mothers not having milk. Yes. So most times we have had to supplement with formula milk. The other thing is certain mothers may have health conditions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like high blood
pressure, like diabetes. Yeah. So some mothers have these underlying issues, and it is just safe for them not to breastfeed.
Yeah.
If they breastfeed, they will be killing themselves.
Yeah.
You want to stay alive to make sure you take care of this child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't die and leave the child. So to make sure both of you are safe, formula most times solves the situation. Yeah. The other thing is certain mothers may be returning to work. So for example, work issues. Yeah, certain people have very intense work schedules or workplaces, and they have to work. So most times such mothers, they start doing formula or bottle feeding their babies. Then other mothers, it could just be, personal issues. The mother just decides. Yes, just decides and does not want. Yeah, and a lot of times we need to be able to understand them. They may be having reasons that you don't even know. Yeah. The other thing is certain mothers may not be having a support system. What I realized is to breastfeed, because for me to be able to breastfeed the second time, by the way, it has been because of the support of you people, of the other mothers. Yeah, so certain mothers may need support for them to be able to breastfeed. If the support is not there, they may struggle, and that is how they may end up bottle feeding. Yeah. Then, certain times it could be trauma. Maybe a mother had a bad experience before breastfeeding for whatever reason, and then they just can't.
Decided that they
will not do it again. Yeah. So those are some of the reasons that could lead to a mother bottle feeding or formula feeding.
And as you're talking about trauma, I think I've had a story of where a mother had a very traumatic birthing experience, and for like the next 5 days they didn't want to see the baby. That baby has to feed.
Yeah, the baby has
those
to
days
feed.
when the mother is not mentally okay to see the baby, the baby has to feed.
Yes.
Yeah, so as women we really need to do away with policing people's bodies, with stigmatizing, all those things. And like we were saying before with Carol, that fed is best.
Yes.
Fed is best.
Yes.
Whether breastfed or bottle fed, fed is
what
best.
is important is that the child is fed.
Yeah. So, Carol, you're really schooling me here.
Yeah.
Mainly because I've never bottle fed.
Yes.
Like, I'm learning a lot from this sharing of yours,
Yeah.
like from the experiences you've gone through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know that fed is best.
Yes.
But what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of bottle feeding and breastfeeding?
Yeah. So now, like you said, for me, I have done both. Guys, the convenience, the easiness that is in breastfeeding. Yeah, it is as simple as just getting your breast out and giving the child. There is no work.
There's no warming.
There is no warming. There is no mixing. There is no cleaning. Yeah. So in breastfeeding, the work is less. Yeah, the work is already done for you. The milk is there in the breast already. Yeah, so that's one of the advantages of breastfeeding. Yeah, and then the other advantage is that I think these details maybe the medics know more, but the breast milk apparently has more nutritional needs. I think the perfect nutritional needs for the child more than the formula. The formula will provide the nutritional needs of the child, but definitely it cannot match the God-given milk for the baby. Yes. So that's what the breast milk does. Then the other thing is when you're breastfeeding your child, the bonding. There is much more bonding. I have seen that because in the first weeks of my second child, I think she thought me and her one person. When someone would take her away, she would cry and all. Yeah, so the bonding and the closeness that happens between a mother and a child because of that skin to skin during breastfeeding.
And the eye contact.
Yes. That whole time when you're breastfeeding, the baby looking at you, the experience. So there is that bonding that happens. And then the other thing is, according to books and research and medics, they say that it is good for the immune system. Yes, it boosts the immune system of the baby much better than formula milk. Yes, so those are some of the advantages of breast milk.
Yeah, I've always, I remember with my first one, when I would go to hospital with like a flu or a cough or a what, they'll tell you just go and breastfeed the baby.
Yes.
Even at immunization. Immunization. Tell you, don't give her anything, just breastfeed. Okay.
Yeah.
God knew it when he was creating these things.
He did.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the disadvantages is, I think for a breastfeeding baby, you have to breastfeed more frequently.
Yeah.
Yes, than the way a formula baby feeds. Yes.
Because you're not sure how much the baby has taken in.
Yes.
But for a formula, these are 30 minutes. They'll take her for 2
hours. Yes.
Then another. But now here they breastfeed.
Yes.
Jump up and go to play.
Yes.
Then okay.
Yeah. So the frequency. Yeah. Then the other thing is that you are the only feeder.
Yes.
You are the only person that can feed the child.
You can't delegate
the feeding job. Yes. Yes. While for bottle milk, another person can feed. Yes. Your spouse can help you feed, or whichever other people that are around can be able to feed the child while you're doing other things. But for breast milk, you have to be the one to be feeding the child all through. And also that means you're moving with the child everywhere you go. Yeah. Especially in that season where you're doing exclusive in the first 6 months. Yes. So those are some of the things involved in breastfeeding.
But also, okay, someone would argue that what if I pump the milk? Yes, you can pump the milk, but possible. Then now you'll still go into measuring, you'll still go into warming, making sure the temperature is okay, what. So that's like another side of,
bottle feeding.
It now becomes like bottle feeding.
It is bottle feeding, just that it's not formula.
Yes, true. Yes.
Yeah. Those are some of the things. And then I don't know about your experience now that you have breastfed both, about when you are now starting to supplement, at the point of starting to introduce
the food,
the other feeds. Is it easy?
No. To breastfeed?
No. Is it easy on breastfeeding babies?
No.
do they want to cling to the breast milk?
Okay, I get you. So for my first one, she really loved food. And when we started giving her food, she, got onto food and started eating. So she was not so much onto news. But she reached the point where she now, I don't know if it's laziness or if it was just like she was hitting a milestone or something. She just stopped wanting food and she mainly wanted breast. So that is when I removed her. And for context, guys, she was 1 year and 7 months. Don't say I removed her when she was young. She was 1 year and 7 months. So she had been feeding for over a year, but now she was more free, or she felt like, if I can get it from Nyunyus, why am I going to touch into food? What? Yeah. But for this one who just started feeding recently, she's still in the process of learning foods, and all that. And we've had a struggle of constipation, so that affects me actually more than her. Seeing your child struggling to push, it really affects you more than her. So I end up feeding her more to avoid giving her foods which will cause constipation. So like, guys, motherhood. Yeah, but now I'm learning to give her some water, learning to give her more fruits which can help her with that, which can ease that. Yeah, but it gets easy, I think. It gets easy.
So I had been talking about the advantages, some of the advantages and disadvantages of breastfeeding. Now, for the bottle feeding, like I mentioned, there are shared responsibilities. You can be able to, you can actually sleep through the night, and your husband, if the baby wakes up, you can do the work at night. Yes. So now for my, since the first child, we had done the bottle feeding and we used to do shared responsibility. It was a shocker for my husband that he was not able to
wake up and help.
Yeah, and help. He was feeling bad that he couldn't, feed the child. God, and then the child was clinging to me more, and because of the breastfeeding and refusing him. And
he loves these girls.
Yes. So
oh my God, that's a challenge actually.
It is. It can be a challenge, especially if your spouse wants to be part of the feeding experience. So in that case, you may have to pump. If possible, so that he can also feel like he's feeding the child. Yes. So the other thing about bottle feeding, like we had mentioned, you can monitor intake. You can know how much the child has taken, and this will take them for these hours. But breast, you can't know. You just have to keep feeding. Because you're not seeing anything. And then bottle feeding or formula feeding is convenient for working mothers.
Very convenient.
Yes, for working mothers. They can leave the child with someone and be able to go and work easily.
Even after those 3 months when you're at home.
You
can easily.
After those 3 months.
You go. But even when you're still home, one of the things that I've seen with bottle feeding is that you can get time out. As mothers, we can be so much into these things that sometimes you need to rest. Sometimes you need to go out and have some fresh air. Like delegate a responsibility of motherhood for a moment, maybe like 6 hours to go and refresh yourself and just recoup and all that. So that can help as well.
Very true. So now some of the issues that may come with bottle feeding or using formula could be, like we mentioned, the risk of infections. Yes, if the equipment and the containers are not sterilized properly. So the sterilizing is a very important part in formula feeding. And then the other thing could be the cost. Guys, formula is expensive. It is very expensive. That's why it's important. It is important that you must have a proper reason to do it. And if you're planning to do it, make sure you plan for the financial. Because once you start, once you start, you cannot go back. Once you start, you cannot go back. You have to continue. You have to avail. The formula has to be available, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap. You need the money. So you have to plan financially. While breastfeeding, guys, is cheap. You spend nothing.
You just need to feed yourself.
Yeah, you just need to feed yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. Those are some of the things.
So one of the, I think you hinted on it when you were sharing about the challenges of breastfeeding, is the weight gain for mothers.
Yes.
You know me, I'm always advocating for women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think some of the people actually fail to breastfeed because they are fearing weight gain. By God's grace, I had shared that for me, mine are readily available. But there's a woman out there who has to take like 3 flasks of porridge for them, for the breast milk to actually come.
Yes.
And if you're prone to gaining weight, that is the opportune time for you to gain a lot of weight. And that comes with self-esteem issues and all that. So that is one of the things, a challenge, you know. It's more like a challenge. It's not an advantage or a disadvantage. It's more like a challenge that women have to endure for their children to have good immunity and to experience all the advantages of breastfeeding that we have shared. Yeah, so as mothers, we take one for the team. And then when the kids are off the breast milk, we can go to the gym, we can work out, and go back to ourselves.
And also the other thing that I'll need to mention is breast milk is best for the child. Like the medics tell us and all, we know. But there are times when a mother is not able to breastfeed. In such scenarios, there is nothing wrong with feeding formula. Formula will provide nutrition for the child that is sufficient enough, and the child will grow very well. My child has grown up. She's now 3. She's very grown. She's very intelligent. She's very strong. She's everything. And then the other thing is the mothers who do not have knowledge on these things, on why mothers may be using formula, to try not to stigmatize. You know how we have, when I was bottle feeding, and then you go for immunization, then when you get your child and you're feeding with a bottle, and then every mother is looking at you like
side-eyeing you,
like you're the worst mother in the world. Guys, you do not love that baby more than the mother.
You know,
the mother loves the child and wants what's best. So at that moment, know that what she's doing is best for that child. Yes, so we have to be supportive to mothers and be kind to mothers. Yes.
That's a very important key to note.
Yes.
For us to not stigmatize anyone depending on what they have chosen to do, either to breastfeed or to bottle feed, because there is always a reason behind it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Carol, for sharing. That has really been so educative. I remember when I was also pregnant with my first one, I prepared for both, for either. I was like, if I manage to breastfeed, well and good. If I don't, I had my points. I even bought bottles, what I was ready for, just in case. So this calls for a mother, someone, a first-time mom, if you're pregnant and you, of course, we desire that we breastfeed, but just in case, just buy a few things, which you can even use at 6 months. In case you breastfeed, you can use them when you're weaning the baby. But just be prepared. Just be prepared. Educate yourself. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and you know, a video like this one comes in handy for such a season. So thank you so much for sharing. As we always do on the channel, we do not leave without praying. So I'm going to request you to say a prayer for a mother out there who is going through it. Like, they thought they're going to breastfeed, now they're here bottle feeding.
So let's pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for all mothers that are watching. We thank you for enabling us to be mothers. We thank you for the gift of children that you give us, King of Glory. And you're God that provides, King of Glory, for these children, because you knew them before they were formed in our bellies. Your word says that you knew the substance of them before you formed and knitted them in our bellies, King of Glory. And so when they get out, King of Glory, of our stomachs, my God, may you give us grace and strength. May you give every mother grace and strength and wisdom to know how to feed and to take care of their children, my God. We surrender both mothers that may be breastfeeding and those that may be using formula, King of Glory, for the challenges that may be coming with both, King of Glory. May you sustain these mothers, my God. May you guide them, give them wisdom, lead them, my God, to be able to raise these children that they may grow in stature and in wisdom. We thank you, God, because you're touching every mother out there. In Jesus' name we pray and believe. Amen.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here, Carol.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I hope you've been encouraged, uplifted, and motivated to be the best version of yourself. Bye. See you in the next one.